Welcome to everyone to this webcast. Today I will show you how to code an EASYTRIEVE program. EASYTRIEVE is a very old language, not old like COBOL, but we are about this kind of time, and it's used inside a mainframe environment like IBM 3270 mainframes. With this tutorial I will show you how to code a very simple EASYTRIEVE program with one file input, one file output, and nothing more. With this EASYTRIEVE you'll be ready in 5 minutes using this software that I will launch and introduce to you just now. Builder 7 is the software I used for years programming in mainframe environment. For now, I can just say that you can find the software at this site, builder7.altervista.org, and you can download and configure it in just 5 minutes. But it's not what interests us. We now speak about creating the EASYTRIEVE program. Here we are. I've already installed a full version of this software, and I will not spend time speaking about the configuration settings or so on. We just run to the configuration of a simple EASYTRIEVE program. So we click Program Base Parameters. That's the main base parameter sections, and what we are going to do is to create a new program. Okay, we want to create an EASYTRIEVE program from the list of languages that is available. Okay, the warning tells us that previous data will be lost. Okay. Here we are. This is the default setup of an EASYTRIEVE program. We just now go through a series of steps to configure the base parameters. So, the name of the EASYTRIEVE will be EASYT001. The language will be EASYTRIEVE, but we can change the language at any time. And the description will be: this is my first EASYTRIEVE for IBM 3270 mainframe machine. So in our program we decide to have one file input. We will process one input file and one output file. We can choose between two kinds of EASYTRIEVE batch. The match of many files, that is a particular function of EASYTRIEVE, but it's not of our interest for now. We will choose to select a simple batch EASYTRIEVE file. JCL is the header of the EASYTRIEVE for the running purpose. We don't want the JCL for now. We uncheck this box. Comments are some kind of rows that enable and improve readability of the code. I like comments, so I always keep them. If you want a very small program, you can deactivate comments. And constants is not a built-in for EASYTRIEVE programs, because EASYTRIEVE didn't have constants as C++ or many evolved languages. But with this built-in function you can save the programs, you can save the variables and check at the last if they are the same. So it's just a way to manage your code. We don't use constants for this purpose. We don't enable this checkbox. In stream and buffering are other techniques like constants, so we skip them for now. Here we are. I will have so an input file that will be my input, and instead of an output file we will put a report file that is characteristics particular of EasyTrieve. So we change the description and we enable a EasyTrieve report. So we can now define the details of the input file, clicking Details. The file name will be called input1, file that contains all customers data. File 1. We cannot choose the other options because we select in the previous menu just one input file. OK. Report. We now define details of reports. Report require a file name, rep file 1, a report name, report 1 for example, and a file description. A file description will be a group of customers from file 1. OK. The setup is now complete for our purpose. That is just a simple EasyTrieve program with one file input and a report. We call our EasyTrieve EASYT001. It's an EasyTrieve program. We put a description. We put that is a batch running mode. We enable comments and disable every other option. We have an input file with customer data. Cancel. We have a report with an extraction and regroupment of the customer data from file 1. That is our purpose. The setup is complete. We proceed with OK. At this point, we are ready to generate our programs. In less than 5 minutes, we are ready to code our EasyTrieve. Generate the program. This is the generating panel. Here will be loaded the pseudocode pre-allocation, will be processed all the conversion key and created our output. We will not spend too much time in this option for now. We are waiting to start the process for EasyT001, that will be our programs. Go. The file already exists. Do you want to override? Yes. Go. Here it is. The job is complete. EasyT has been created in 255 lines. We can preview the program just clicking Preview, Program Preview. OK, this is our EasyTrieve. EasyTrieve is a program that have some instruction not really configured, but they are an options inside Builder 7. For now, we don't want these instructions, and we put them off. Our EasyTrieve start with this. Something remember us that before releasing the software, we have to list off this process and go further. We have created EasyT001 version 1.0. This is the programming information. This is our description. This is my first EasyTrieve for IBM 3270 mainframe machine. We will process one input file and one report file. There is also a built-in graph that auto-configure due to our direction inside the Builder 7 setup. Input file 1 that contains all customer data. With this, we can remember what is the input and what we will put inside the output. It's a very, very interesting way to understand what the program will do in 10 lines. Here we are. Input file 1. We must complete now the code format of the input file 1. So we put a variable 1, a 10 character process, and a variable 2 that begins at 11, long 90, with the data. We don't have other instruction. Report group of customer from file 1. This is our report printer. It's a built-in that is length of 160, but you can change it inside the setup. We will not use routine, so we can delete this section. We will have a built-in counter reports that activate at the end of a program when the program running finished. So we will know how many input records we have processed and the output report lines we have processed. A working section. We don't have working for now, so we can delete some rows. Also a static report for proc. Static variables are particular for reports. In this kind of example we don't use them. An area report is also important. We can decide the header of the report, so we can put the key work print var1 and work print var2 as we configured them, and put that var1 is 10 alphanumeric and this is 90 alphanumeric. Adding data, adding key. Data is not formatted like a number, so we can delete this. And so our EASYTRIEVE is growing. Of course, we have two kinds of job input. Job input is the main process, so we are in the main of the EASYTRIEVE, and we have an init section, a close section, and a job input section. That is the main process. Job input can process the input file 1 or just a null, so the input process must be manually converted. We will use the input automatic. Stop is not required if we use job input. EASYTRIEVE will understand that this is the end of the job input section. Inside our job input section, we will see that it traces the input records processed, and what we will do is to perform the write of report. So we uncomment this section and enable it. There is also a trace if you process file input with millions of records, so you would like to see how many records your EASYTRIEVE have processed, and you can put a display of elaborated input 1 every 10,000 records. I like this and I'll keep. The first section anyway that is launched is F1000 init, and at the end F9000 closed. So we go to the init and we will see that there is initialization of counters and nothing more, a display that start EASYTRIEVE 1. This is the write report. We can now pass from write report. Okay. And here we have to complete our code. We decided that we have var1 and var2. There is no further variables for printing. So we can set up the input. The input was input var1 and input var2. These are the value you have to process. Every records of input file 1 will be reported in this section, inside work print var1. The print report will process this record for every record of file input. So we can go further. There is the close proc that display the counters that the program have processed, and so on. Nothing more, the stop and the EASYTRIEVE. What have to do now is to complete passing through performs and see what there is to complete for our program. We have a statistics and counter section that is already configured. We have an error that can be configured if you want, but can also display that the program finished in error. For example, for an input file error, you will finish here. This function is called all around the program inside the errors conditions. And this is the last sections, our report. Complete the following code. Okay, report 1. Summary is a control of the report. Here our variables, var1 at column 1 and var2 at column 2. Final, var1, new page, renum. These are a particular instruction of the report. You can configure it as you wish. And then show a title display, customers data report 1. This is the title of our report. You can show additional function. We don't have additional function, but we like a space before the wrapper begins. And so var1 is our first column, var2 is our second and last column. There are also a management that remembers the post-process between the reports processing. It's a particular function of EASYTRIEVE. We don't need this. We delete this for this time. And the program is finished. We have created a full EASYTRIEVE program in less than 5 minutes. It's a simple program. For example, here we will put our logic, we will put our processing to make the data of the reports more interesting. Excuse me. But this is just a further and advanced tutorial. In this tutorial we have seen how to create a simple EASYTRIEVE program, well formatted, well commented, and perfectly working. Here we are. Thank you for watching.